What it do, Dream Team? It's your boy D Neal back with another reaction video, guys. Here we are with the toll of Australia's flood catastrophe, Four Corners Part 2. Before we dive into this, I need y'all to smash that subscribe button, ring notification bell, get a video a thumbs up so it gets suggested. If you guys got a favorite video suggestion, you can subscribe to Patreon or drop it in the comment section. What we got?
Vinnie McElligott and her children are living with her sister until they figure out what's next.
I honestly don't know what I would have done if Lorraine hadn't taken us in. We're there for each other. I cry on her shoulder, she cries on mine.
And how many people are living in the house now, do you reckon, including the caravans and tents?
It'd be about 18 now.
18.
Yeah.
Oh my
Well,
God.
can you give me a guided tour of what it's like to live in a house with 17 other people?
It's crazy.
Rightio.
It's crazy.
That's Tim and my grandson, Kingston. Say hi, King. Yeah. So that's one bedroom. In here is my bedroom, which is my bedroom, my husband, and my fourth eldest daughter, and my grandson there. So they had to come in and give up their bedroom to be in here with us. So that's another bedroom. One shower, one toilet.
Right.
Yes.
Wow, for 18 people.
For
You have
18
to take
people.
a ticket.
Yeah, so after the weekend it gets complicated.
One shower, one toilet for 18. God dang. You almost got to set a schedule. You almost got to set a schedule for 18.
Yeah.
This is 4 bedroom. I gotta do it. And 6 room. That's the boys' room.
We did have the laundry as a room, but when the caravans came, we were able to
Swap that
change
around.
that, and now it's a storage.
Here to all the kids, after the kids. Introduce yourself. That's Jess,
This is
Blindas.
Josiah, he's one of my boys.
Yeah.
This is Tiffany, she's my daughter. This is Johanna, Lorraine's granddaughter. And Simona.
That's my daughter, Lorraine's daughter. Hi.
So, Josiah, I mean, you must have been back to look at the old place. What do you feel when you walk through there and see what it looks like now?
Oh, it's kind of sad because, you know, like all the stuff that in primary when, just like all the stuff that you had, all the photos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, baby.
Dang.
Don't you? It's alright. It's alright, mate.
How are you going here with staying up with your cousins?
Annoying.
Wow.
And this is the garage normally, obviously.
Yep.
Yeah.
Kind of converted it into a somewhat home, I guess.
Are you surprised to see how affected Josiah is by everything that's going on?
I am. I knew that he was out of sorts. Like he's been in a tent for 4 months, you know. But I didn't expect him to get emotional when you asked him the question before. It's the stuff like that that breaks my heart because I can't fix it. Yeah. Yeah.
That is hard. I can't imagine that as a parent. And it's nothing of her fault. Like, it's like she said, there's nothing that she could have done, right? To stop that flooding from happening, to stop that from destroying their home. And then, I mean, you got to move forward and you got to do whatever you can to keep moving on. So, it is a house and caravans with 18 people, which I'm sure is an absolute struggle. And, but I mean, it's like you had no other options at that point.
Lismore has a long history of flooding, but February's was the worst on record.
My God. Wow.
I've been through several floods in my lifetime through various jobs, but I've never seen anything to the scale of Lismore. It really was a complete scene of utter destruction.
My God, man.
Lismore broke its record, established over 150 years, so it wasn't a short-lived record.
Look at these
Not
houses.
by a few centimetres, but by 2 metres, 2 and a bit metres.
Wow.
Impossible to imagine.
Bro, almost the entire houses are underwater. Like, that is absolutely insane. My God.
If you hadn't known there'd been a flood, you'd think a bomb had gone off. There was army on every corner, all the shop fronts were empty and covered in a thin brown film of mud. It was deserted, it felt eerie, and it was quite frankly shocking.
Wow.
Amidst the trauma and devastation, people here are facing a terrible dilemma. Stay, knowing another flood will come, or leave their homes for good.
I can't imagine it. I can't
Lismore's
imagine
Mayor
it.
Steve Krieg took office only a month before the flood.
I understand the frustration, the anger. I feel it myself. I'm living through it myself. I don't have answers for it. I can't make things go faster than what they already are.
For decades, plans to buy back homes in the most flood-prone areas have failed. Now, a council report has recommended moving people to higher ground through a land swap arrangement. But Steve Krieg believes the decisions are too big for council.
Council
I
can't.
feel like, I don't know. I feel like if you're gonna sell these homes to people, like, you have to give them definite flood insurance, like, because you can't put people in these flood areas if you're not gonna do insurance for it or anything. I'm not sure if they do, which I'm just saying. Then I feel like you can't sell these homes to people, because if you know there's gonna be floods in the area, then it's like everything that they own they're gonna lose. It's gonna get destroyed, and I can't imagine being in that situation.
Do it. It's as simple as that. We cannot do it. We need the state and the federal government to help us. This is a very personal opinion. This is not a council statement, but really you can't do the work that needs to be done in Lismore through the council. You actually need an autocratic approach. And if you want me to be totally honest, and I hope you probably will put this to air, but you actually need to sack the council to make this happen.
Wow.
A new reconstruction authority has been set up by the New South Wales government to take charge. But no decisions on the future of Lismore will be made until an independent inquiry reports at the end of the month. One of the biggest decisions will be whether to relocate Lismore's CBD. But some business owners can't leave. Janice Palmer has invested everything in her homewares shop and warehouse.
Wow.
To what extent do you feel trapped by the situation?
Well, what do I do here? I can't walk away from a building. I own it. You know, my superannuation fund owns it. I can't just get up and move everything to somewhere else. I'll lose
Everything?
everything, yes. Every time it rains, I get anxious, my husband and I fight a lot because we're both traumatised by the whole thing.
Wow.
Trying to get back to work so I can pay my staff because they haven't had work for a long time. It's very difficult. I'm sorry, I'm going to have to walk away with you, Janice.
I can't even fathom this, bro.
The problem is this hideous event will repeat. It may not be next year, may not be in the next 3 years, but you can guarantee the CBD of Lismore will go under 10 metres of water plus again, and the same destruction will happen.
Wow.
Across the bridge from the CBD, Eli Roth is determined to stay put.
This is just a way of our life. It's like the trade-off for living in paradise kind of thing. Like, when I bought this house, I knew damn well it was going to come under it, like we all did. That's why it's been raised above the biggest one in history, which was 1974. But it went from major catastrophic to next level really fast. We're getting the roof as the last resort.
My
In
God.
February, Eli barely made it out.
We're on the back roof. We managed to get up here with the dogs. If you could just tell the SES or police that we're on the back side of the roof and to please send help, because it's getting pretty fucking real.
My Lord,
I've been to mates funeral who
man.
actually drowned. I've buried my mother's animals who drowned. Like,
Wow.
And they're going to pick up the pieces. Like, we almost slipped and drowned. We spent on the roof 5 hours, like, watching just carnage. And then you got to come back and rebuild.
And so why do you want to stay?
Because it's my home. This is where I was born and raised. I want to save it. Have you seen behind me? I want future generations to enjoy this. Like, it means a lot to me, so that's why I'm going to fight every day to try and save it.
That's crazy,
Grantham
man.
in Queensland is the town that tried to move out of harm's way after disastrous floods 11 years ago.
Wow.
12 people died.
We had people that were washed out of their cars, people that were washed out of their homes. So there was this real overarching sense of loss and grief and a real desire that we don't ever want to be, as a council, in this position again. We don't ever want our community to be in this position again.
My God.
And we want to have our community safe.
They said it killed, the flood killed 12 people. Bro, these floods are ridiculous. This is honestly insane.
Much of the town was relocated to higher ground as part of a land swap deal funded by the federal, state and local governments.
We were first in, yes. So we've been there for...
Tanya Hooper was one of the residents who took up the offer.
This all feels pretty new.
Yeah, so this is the new park. This is the start of the new estate. So, yeah, so this is the start. They bought basically all of this land around here and made it available to anyone who had land down the bottom who wanted to swap. So the whole process took... Well, we were in about just over 12 months after the flood. So we moved in Australia Day 2012.
Did the land swap work, Tanya?
I think it's great. We've got a lovely community up here. We've all sort of come from, a lot of us have come from down the bottom or locally, and then there's been a few people who've come in from other places who've bought blocks and didn't necessarily swap, but it's certainly a nice sense of community now.
Moving just part of this small town was difficult and expensive. A decade on, the Lockyer Valley Regional Council still owes $6.3 million. Dozens of people still live in Old Grantham.
Hey, Rebecca.
How you going?
Shout out to that council though for trying to make this happen though. Even though they still owe so much, but to be able to do that for the people, I think that's absolutely phenomenal of them to try to land swap and get these people in the safer areas is the most important thing, and it sounds like they definitely wanted to do that.
How you going?
Including Rebecca Sparks.
So this is was my daughter's room. We probably didn't expect to ever see a flood like that ever again. Really should have thought that, maybe in our 70s, 80s, they sort of talk about this long-term sort of weather outlook. We sort of thought, well, what happens when we're that old, so be it. We'll let it go.
She says she couldn't afford to demolish her home and build a new one.
Back then they were offering land swap, which was a block of dirt for a block of dirt. The block of dirt you're on had to be left clear. No housing, no concrete, no nothing.
So you had to pay
there.
to clear that?
Pay to clear the land. And then full price of building a house or moving the house.
Jeez.
This February, Grantham flooded again.
Wow.
Rebecca's home was inundated.
We need to move. It's vitally important, sorry, then it all choked up. It's vitally important, I think, that this part of the town is moved out.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be, you know, you shouldn't live here with that fear that something's going to happen. It used to be the flood water come in and went. It only come in about a foot deep, and we knew how to live with that. And now it's as soon as the water starts getting up a little bit higher, we just got to leave and see what we return to after.
Wow.
Rebecca Sparks is desperate for another land swap.
We just sit here in limbo. We don't want to do any repairs, but it's hard every morning getting up to the same mess. It just doesn't go away. They need to get on and get it sorted. We're not the only ones living through this nightmare. It's, you know, talk to people that lived up on the hill, that done land swap, and, you know, they send their best wishes. No one wants to be down here.
In 2011, Brisbane was also hit with major floods and suburbs around the city went under.
Bro, these floods, I just can't fathom them. I can't fathom them. That's all we got for this one. You guys got a favorite video suggestion? You can subscribe to Patreon or drop it in the comment section. Subscribe to the channel, ring notification bell, get a video a thumbs up so it gets suggested. It's your boy Neal, out.